Hi everyone, I'm Elle Ingalls. I'm the creator of the Pressure Free Method, and this is a special training that I put together really in the last couple of days, addressing some people's needs about how to protect yourself from illness because of what's going on around the world. And I'm just going to call it the C word. I don't really want to call it out because it could be any illness. And I want to share something tonight that I've never done this training before. This is a brand new training. It's a free training to really get you to understand the fastest way to protect yourself from illness. It's faster than washing your hands or wearing a mask. And yes, I will have some humor in here because that's just a part of Pressure Free. But I really want to give you something that provides great impact to you. So we will dive here. I want to tell you that you are in the right place if the threat of illness has you feeling anxious, which I know it does for some people these days. If you've been under the weather already this year, so you've already been ill, you have a chronic illness, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. In this training, you'll discover with me why you could be doing everything right and still become ill. The fastest way to prevent illness, some simple tools to get you started, and how to ensure your success. Plus, I want you to stay to the end for a free gift from me for watching this training, something special. I used to get sick many times a year. This is my true story. Whatever was going around, I would catch it and seem to have it worse. So my kids would bring home flus and colds from home, and I would get them far worse than they had them. I also had chronic skin issues, which was a sure sign that I wasn't getting enough nutrients out to my skin. But since 2010, when I created the Pressure Free Method, I have rarely been ill. I'm going to knock on wood. And tell you that in 10 years, almost 10 years, because April 15th is the anniversary of Pressure Free, I've had 5 small colds, the first 3 in the first 2 years. And then in 8 years' time, I've only had 2 small colds, and they began and ended so quickly. It was like nothing I had ever experienced before. And that's because with this pressure-free method, I was finally tapping into my true immune system capabilities. That's what I'm going to teach you tonight. Have you ever felt the images on the news are causing you to feel a little nervous? I mean, I like this one here. Look at the Time magazine said, "Who gets to be healthy?" It's kind of and then polluters, there's all this negative news all the time. And does it make you feel anxious sometimes? Have you ever felt like you took really good care of yourself, but you still got sick? That was definitely me. Oops. And have you ever been worried that someone you love is going to become ill? Maybe someone you know is traveling. Our family is constantly in motion all around the place, nation usually, but the world as well. So are you worried about someone becoming ill that you love? Then this is for you. This is for you if you're open to trying a new approach. I want you to be aware tonight of the "I know that already" syndrome. I have that syndrome. Like I'll hear someone say something like, "Oh yeah, I already know that." I might even have my arms crossed. So I want you to let go of that tonight and stay open, because something that I share may click for you in a new way. Even if you've been with me for years, like some of my followers, they come to everything I do, my retreats, they come to my workshops, they purchase every course I create. So this is for you, even if you may have already experienced something with me, or you start to have that little bit of "I know that already" syndrome. This is for you if you believe that your health is important. And this is for you if you're ready to take some action. We're going to be taking action tonight to improve your health and prevent illness for you. First, let's unpinch yourself. So if you got anything tight on what I call your pressure points, we need to unpressure you or pressure free you physically. So this businessman has a watch tight around this pulse point. If you have a watch or a Fitbit, I want you to take it off or loosen it. Get rid of the things, get rid of these electronic things on you. I'll make sure to take this little magic box and turn it off and set it down. If you're watching on your magic box, and keep it on, of course. And try to elevate it so it's up, okay? Shoes, take off your shoes if you're not barefoot or stocking foot already. Take off your shoes, under your belt, make sure your waist is relaxed. There's nothing pinching it. Loosen your tie, under your bra strap or your bra. You know, get all that on, get all that released so that you're not in this state of pinched state. We want to unpinch. Then I want you to really go wide with your body here for a moment. So don't pinch your shoulders back like this, but just go really wide. And I want you to relax the front of your body, starting with your abs. So relax your ab muscles and just let this all be relaxed for a moment. I want you to open up here, and I'm going to be really open and vulnerable with you tonight. I'm going to share stuff I've never shared, and I want you to be able to receive. A lot of us are really great at giving and not so good at receiving. So this is a way that you can start to receive more, is just to relax the front of your body here and open up this heart space. Secondly, this is funny, but grab your butt, pull it up against your back. All right, it should pull it up. So you're sitting on your hamstrings or your femur bones. Okay, so if this is your leg, you're not sitting on your butt that's up here, and you're sitting on your leg bones. Should be really easy to stand up now. Then get your head up. So we're getting a broad, looking into the future viewpoint for you tonight. And then with your feet, I want you to really ground the front part of your foot. Just really have it really down onto the ground. Curl your toes into the ground a little bit, like pull into it a little bit, like you're gripping it. I want you to feel really strong tonight. That's really important. It's something that you can do at any time. Use your feet to really ground you and feel strong. All right, we're going to dive right in here to the tools, to the things I want to teach you. But I'm doing everything right to stay healthy. Okay, this was me for years. Maybe you too. I used to exercise, I used to meditate, I did yoga, and I ate well. I wash my hands constantly because I'm a violinist. I can't help it. I need clean hands, so I'll wash my hands probably way too much. So I wash my hands continually. I don't touch my face. I'm pretty good about not touching my face. So I thought I was always doing everything right to stay healthy, but I was missing something really critical. So when you're washing your hands, first of all, make sure you don't stress about it. Make sure you don't stress that you're having to wash your hands all the time. There's some people who move into almost an addiction of washing their hands, or move into some real OCD behavior about trying to keep their hands clean all the time. So I want you to just relax that for a little bit to make sure you're not stressing out about it. Just notice. Another thing, if this is a thing for you, washing your hands, make sure your fingernails are short. Beware of people with long fingernails, by the way. There's no way they can get those things really clean. So keep your fingernails short and clean underneath them when you wash your hands, okay? But here's the big one. Even if you're wearing face masks or whatever, don't touch your face or pick your nose either. Like whatever's on here, you don't want it on your face. You don't want it near your nose, near your lips, near your mouth. Okay, so just kind of keep your hands to yourself, but keep them away from your face. Wearing a face mask. The main reason face masks are for people who are ill. So the ill person is the one that needs to wear the face mask. It does protect you from sprays and splashes. Think dental hygienists. The reason they wear them is because stuff sprays up while they're working on your teeth. Okay. I personally think that the image alone of seeing people wearing face masks causes people to feel anxious. So look out for that. That might be a trigger for you. If you're seeing that on the news, you might want to just relax a little bit and not let that affect you. Don't overreact to the fact that you see an image of people with masks on, because certainly we're being bombarded with that right now. Eating well. Obviously, this is a great thing to do for many reasons. Here's some tips. And I learned these tips from some incredible experts around the world, actually. A Thai doctor, a cancer nutritionist, a woman who specializes in nutrition for cancer patients, and a couple of other people that I've followed. So make sure to breathe when you eat. Most of us are eating so fast we barely take a breath. So slow down a little bit. Take a breath before you eat so you have oxygen to burn your fuel, because the food is the fuel. See if you can chew many, many, many times. Like eat a little slower and chew your mouth full a lot. Okay. Why does it say chew, eat? I'll need to fix that. Drink water 20 or more minutes before or after the meal, but not while you're eating, so you don't dilute the enzymes and all the good that you're getting with your food. You want your saliva and your food to interact. Your saliva is the first thing that breaks down your food and gets it in a form where the rest of your digestive system can really make use of it. So make sure you spend plenty of time chewing your food really well. Most of us overeat tremendously in the 21st century. Plates are larger. Like, it's really interesting. So see if you can have smaller amounts, but take a longer time to eat them, and you'll probably feel fuller, more full. If you're stressed, the nutrients have a hard time reaching your cells. They just simply can't get out. We'll go a little deeper into that. But also, if you eat something that's not good for you, please try not to stress about it. I used to be terribly stressed out over eating bad things, especially when I was an athlete in college and high school. I would really just beat myself up. And so I want you to realize that stressing about anything that you've eaten does far more damage than the thing that you ate. So when I'm working with my clients, I say, play the 80-20 game. See if 80% of what you eat is really wonderful for you, beautiful, and 20% eat whatever you want. Maybe it's still going to be wonderful, beautiful things, or maybe it's going to be something else. But look out for that. See if you can make sure you're not stressing about your food. Exercising. Moderation is key. I love to have my athletes figure out what I call the sweet spot of their athletic heart rate. If we trigger too high, then we're going to trigger the fight or flight stress response. Then we're actually doing significant damage to our bodies while we're exercising. Far more damage than we are good, to be honest. That's why you'll hear of marathoners, people in really great shape having heart attacks. It's like, what is that? They haven't dealt with the stress piece. So moderation is key. Make sure you're breathing clean air. Make sure if you go to the gym, I was at a hotel in Vegas this weekend, and I wanted to see a mirror I do this thing called the Bowspring, actually this movement with Lila Veronica. And I wanted to have a mirror, to see my thing. I stepped in the room. The air was so disgusting. I ran back out. So make sure you're breathing clean air. And make sure you don't overreact to loud sounds or annoyances or anything else while you're doing your exercise. Because when you're in an elevated heart rate, it's really easy to trigger fight or flight from a loud sound, an ambulance, or suddenly someone's behind you or anything like that. So just be a little more aware of some of those things that might cause you to trigger the fight or flight stress response, which we'll go into deeper in a little bit here. So exercise is great, but make sure you're doing it moderately and breathing some clean air. Yoga, again, moderation is key. I cannot do traditional yoga. It is not good for my particular body design. So I do something called the Bowspring, and I work with a coach, Lila Veronica. It's really phenomenal. No more hip pain, no more back pain. She's the one that gave me the tips about sitting on our hamstrings. It's really changed me tremendously. So that's the form that I use to stay healthy. Moderation is key. Again, breathe clean air. Make sure you don't overreact to loud sounds or annoyances, because whatever types of yoga you do, you might actually move up into a higher heart rate if you're in a position that you're working hard. In Bowspring, we definitely use it's cardio as well. It moves into cardio just because of how we're working our bodies. So watch for all of that, and watch too that when you do any of these practices like meditation or yoga, that when you leave your space, that you don't get instantly triggered, because the contrast from being like in this yoga studio like this woman is, to then driving home, say on the freeway, it's a really huge contrast. It's very easy to trigger fight or flight right after you've had this beautiful experience, which nullifies whatever good that experience was giving you. So now I'm going to share with you the fastest way to prevent illness. This is the second thing I promised tonight. The fastest way to prevent illness is to stop the release of stress hormones. Stress hormones are the true enemy here. If you don't do this, then all your other efforts are barely making a difference. So I really want you to take a look at this slide and you take a drink of water. I want you to read it yourself. You can read it out loud if you want. The fastest way to prevent illness is to stop the release of stress hormones. So for some people, like you might feel stressed about something and the person next to you is like, that doesn't bother me at all. Stress is very individualistic. It's very personal. And so many people don't understand our stressors. So this is really about you. You are unique. No one is like you. Whatever's happened in your past, any traumas you've had, anything, all plays a role in how you react to stimuli and how you move about your world. So I'm going to share some super cool things with you tonight to show you how you can actually stop the release of these stress hormones. These are the enemy. It's not the stressors. It's not your husband, wife, mother-in-law, children, boss, commute, weather, time, all those things that we stress over. It's actually that we overreact to those things and release stress hormones. So let's dive in. Why? Because stress hormones affect so much. This is just a few things. I'm going to share just a few things tonight. We're just touching the tip of the iceberg from what I usually teach in my coaching. So first of all, your immune system. Your immune system, when the second flood of hormones goes out, drops up to 40%. That's a lot. That's why in 2010, when I created this method and started using it on myself, all of a sudden, my immune system was starting to really work for me and my ability to heal. So I would get even a simple thing like a bug bite, where I used to have a huge reaction, as red as this and big. All of a sudden, it would be like this tiny little spot and gone in a couple days, or it used to last like a week and be very painful. My immune system simply couldn't help my skin. Number one, because the immune system had dropped, but also my nutrients weren't getting out here. That's the second thing here. Your digestive system slows down or stops in fight or flight. So you might be eating the greatest foods to keep you healthy and supplements or whatever else you're taking into your body. However, all of those wonderful minerals and vitamins cannot get out to your cells to do their work if you go into fight or flight, because your digestive system is going to slow down or stop. This can also be why you might have instant diarrhea or get constipation. There's a lot here. Your heart. Of course, your heart is so precious. Take your hands for a moment and just put them on your heart and see if you can feel your heart right here on your chest. So you can get quiet enough to actually feel it beating. One of my most comforting things growing up was to put my head on either one of my parents' chests and listen to their heartbeat. And I still love to do that with the people closest to me. So you have this magnificent organ in here. It's beating away. It's taking care of you. Every time you trigger these stress hormones, you build stress fat in the center of your body and in your arteries. It affects this area. I want you to have the most beautiful, most incredibly healthy heart. Because when your heart is healthy, so much is working for you. So stress hormones affect your heart. And of course, we hear that stress is a silent killer. It does far more than just hurt your heart, though. It hurts every system of your body, including your brain. How about your athletic ability? If you're exercising, maybe you're working out because you're really an athlete or you're a weekend warrior. When you release these stress hormones, it actually shrinks your bones and muscles. The second flood shrinks your bones and muscles. What? You just did a great workout, but you overdid it and you stressed out and you released these hormones, and now your body's not recovering as well as it could. That gets into the last one, your ability to heal. When you don't release these hormones, your body can heal up to 40% faster. I've watched this happen in so many of my clients who have had surgery, clients who have had injuries, sports injuries, where the trainer will say, you're going to be off for 8 weeks. And they're back in their sport in 2.5, 3 weeks. It's incredible. But these are people who are so committed to using my method. They're using it all day long so their body can truly heal. I worked with a baseball player once who had shoulder surgery and was told he couldn't throw or pitch from the mound for an entire year, 12 months. 6 weeks in, he sent me a text saying, my physical therapist and my trainer say they've never seen anybody start to heal as fast as I am in just a few weeks. He was pitching from the mound in 6 months, not 12. So you have such an incredible ability to heal. We need to tap into that. That's what I'm going to share with you tonight. Here are some more effects, just so you can kind of take a look. These are just some of the effects of these two floods of hormones. And maybe you feel some of them. So I want you to kind of secretly celebrate right now, because if you experience any of these things on here, maybe you go to the bathroom a lot. Maybe you're having some intimacy problems. Maybe you've got fat in your abdomen. Maybe you have a blood sugar imbalance or diabetes. Maybe you've got a problem with your immune system, or you have insomnia. Like, look at all these things. And I want you to secretly celebrate, because tonight I'm going to give you the way to stop feeling some of this. It's really going to be amazing. So what few people know is that for guys on the other side of the screen there, it takes males up to 9 hours to clear stress hormones out of the cells. It takes females up to 24 hours. We're literally out of order. Like our body processes are not able to work and function properly for hours. And if you're like me, chances are, like 24 hours is a long time, I'm going to trigger again and again and again, like, I don't know, 100 times a day without even realizing it. So when I learned all this, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm constantly in fight or flight. I'm never out of it. I'm never out of this stress cycle because of how long it takes for the cells to get back to normal. If your cells are dealing with two floods of hormones attacking and getting them all ready to fight or run away, and then trying to repair after, if they're busy with all of that, your immune system is of course going to suffer. Every one of your body processes is going to suffer because it doesn't have a chance when the stress hormones take over and have command of your body. So 9 hours and 24 hours is too long. It's too long. And again, chances are you will keep triggering the stress response, keeping you constantly at risk. This is the number one reason why people become ill or have chronic illness. All chronic illness is a direct result of stress hormone release. And any other illness is exacerbated by it. So it's time to power up. Are you ready to power up? I sure am. I like to say that I get all the bad news out early, and now we can move to the good news. So this is the good news, pressure-free. Simple steps to get you started. I want to start with stories that you currently tell yourself. And these were a couple of mine that I wanted to share, but maybe if you have a pen and something to write with, you might want to jot down some of your thoughts or stories, or if some of these resonate, go ahead and write them down. What stories do you currently tell yourself about your health? Well, I just don't have time to eat right. I just have a bad immune system. I used to say that to myself over and over again before 2010. I guess I just don't have a good immune system. I just can't fight this thing. I always catch everything. I used to say that too. I use a lot of superlatives, by the way. Like, I always catch something. I always catch everything. I was a terrible patient, by the way, too. It's like every time I got a cold, it was the end, you know. So my family never wanted to see me sick, but I was sick a lot, even though I was again in denial that I was even ill. I was like walking around with it, if you know what I mean. I don't have time to get healthy. Don't have time to exercise. Don't have time to eat right. I don't have time. Is this a story you tell yourself? And then about sleep. I hear a lot of people tell me their stories about sleep. I've never been a good sleeper. I never get a good night's sleep. I always wake up fatigued. So are these some of the stories that you tell yourself? Maybe there's other ones. I would love to see Facebook just light up with comments when I get done this. So what stories do you tell yourself? What stories are you telling yourself? It's very interesting what stories we tell ourselves. So let's create some new stories together. About the healthy eating. I don't have time to eat healthy. It takes a second to grab an apple. My husband actually, I remember specifically one time we were on vacation. And rather than stop at restaurants, we started stopping at the grocery store and had our three boys in the produce department and like the deli area places where you could get cool salads and stuff, pick stuff out. So they were picking out like apples and pears and grapes and all this stuff that's nuts, seeds, sunflower seeds, all these things. Um, they were picking them out as what they wanted to eat. And it was really kind of amazing that it just takes a second to grab an apple. You don't even have, you can wash it. That's all you need to do. Another thing that you could start to begin saying can be an affirmation for you is that my immune system is stronger every day. Why don't you say that with me right now, okay? My immune system is stronger every day. And you've got to keep your head going this way. I watch with my clients. Sometimes they will share with me and they'll be going this way. I learned this from my mentor, actually. I was talking to him about my dreams and visions for my business. And I was actually talking with my head going like this, denying everything coming out of my mouth. So when you say an affirmation, make sure your head is going this way. You are in agreement with the words you are stating. I'm going to be just fine. It's one of my big ones. I'm going to be just fine. For years, I doubted if my pressure-free method would work for me. Like, is it, because again, I was doing far more. I was traveling here, going here, speaking here, just always on the move. And I thought, am I really going to be fine? And finally, I just started, I'm going to be just fine. Really affirming it, really believing it. It's easy to get healthy in seconds. At the end of this, I have a free little gift of 3 steps you can take that will instantly get your health moving. I'm going to teach it to you right at the end of this. It's easy to get healthy in seconds. That's something you can begin to put into your new story about your health. This is a big one. I'm in control of my own DNA. You are. Every thought that you have affects your very DNA. And whatever is in there, you have so much ability. It's very flexible, this DNA of yours. You have so much ability to start to transform it. And you have libraries of parts of your DNA that you've never even touched. You've never even opened them up to keep you healthy. Most of us are walking around using only a little small bit of it. Just like they say with our brain. Pressure-free clients, by the way, we use our whole brain. We're not in that 10% thing anymore. And you can talk to some of my clients. Some of my clients are doing some really brilliant things because they finally unleash their brain. They're using pressure-free every moment of every day. So you can do this and gain control over your DNA as well. However much I sleep will be just fine. However much I sleep will be just fine. You know how sometimes you won't have a good night's sleep right before a big talk or a big presentation or a big event? I want you to wake up in the morning and just say, however much I sleep has been just fine. It's going to be fine. So start to write down with your pen and paper after this. Go ahead and add to your story. What is it that you need to start putting in that amazing head of yours that's contradictory to your old story you've been telling yourself for years or maybe even decades? You can change it. You can start a new story for yourself, and it starts tonight. Tonight, I love to say this, tonight is the first day of your pressure-free life. Right here, right now. So start writing your story, and what you can put anything you want in it. It's a blank page. Now we're going to move into the 3 steps of pressure-free. I want you to have my method right up front here. Maybe you've heard it a million times. I'm sharing it all the time, but maybe this time something new will flip for you. So stay with me here. Step 1, targets your why. Let's really think about it with health, okay? So why do you want to live with less stress? Now that you see what stress actually does, like, there's a lot of reasons. Staying healthy is at the top of my list. Because when I'm healthy, I can do so much. But when I'm not, Doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter what zip code you live in. This is really weird. I just have to share this. I had to call my health insurance today. I'm self-insured, and my premium was way lower than usual. And I just found out that because of my address change, I have a lower premium now. That's pretty weird. So your zip code, I guess, does matter. Why do you want to be healthier? Why do you want to be healthier? To fight anything that's coming your way? To have a great rocking immune system? What do you want to be able to do with a healthier body? Maybe you want to be able to do some things with this great body of yours. Maybe you just want to be out of fear. How exactly do you want to look and live, and why? Your targets, your why. This is just focusing on health, but normally with my clients, I go really deep on targets. They can be all sorts of targets you have for your life. When you know your why, you'll take action. So even if you can just write down one or two things here, a couple of things that are so important to you, that you stay healthy, that you keep healthy for your family. Maybe you can't do it for you, but you'll do it for your family. Step 2 triggers your what. Ask yourself these questions. These are really important. We need to figure out what's causing you to trigger the fight or flight stress response. Fight, flight, freeze. Even today, I was talking with a woman, a colleague of mine, and she said there's fawning. Fawning is when you'll just go over and above trying to please someone. There's also fibbing. People move into fib mode because they're trying to hide where they're falling short. So fight, flight, freeze, some sort of weird behavior that's really unnecessary because you're overreacting. So when do you tend to overreact? Do you tend to overreact first thing in the morning, feeling like you're going to be late to work or to school or to your home office, like me? Or do you overreact when you're traveling? Do you overreact during your commute? Do you overreact when your boss calls you in? So when do you tend to overreact? What or who makes you overreact? Is it traffic? Is it a sound? Is it a smell? If I smell something burning, I instantly start overreacting. I have to use a lot of pressure-free tools for that one. What makes you feel annoyed or angry? Annoyance and angry kind of fall in a continuum. Like I'm a little bit annoyed, a little bit annoyed. No, full-blown angry, right? So what makes you feel annoyed or angry? What do you worry about? What keeps you up at night? Who or what makes you feel anxious? And what are you ashamed of? Maybe if you have a chronic illness now, a chronic disease, you're ashamed of it. I was petrifyingly ashamed of the horrible eczema on my hands for years and the stress acne on my cheeks. Here's my cheeks now. I'm so happy. But I was so ashamed. I would never even wear a ring. I was embarrassed to wear a ring. A lot of shame there. Now your tools. When you have your targets, what you're aiming for, your why, and you've figured out what's triggering you, now I'm going to give you some tools. This is the how-to of the pressure-free method. 3 types of tools: body tools, mind tools, life design. Tonight I'm just giving you a couple just to get you started. But in my full course, I teach dozens and dozens of tools. And it just keeps going because there's so many ways that I can help you stop the release of these stress hormones. First, this crazy celebration Ferris wheel that I do for you. So this is what I call the starter tool of Pressure Free. It's 3 tools in one: a large motion, a smile, and posture. So I'd like you to pretend that you've got a small Ferris wheel right in front of your face. And this, by the way, this tool I built out of Jim Collins' Good to Great business book about celebrating incremental gains. I want you to push this little Ferris wheel every time you notice a trigger. Maybe you're too late and you feel your face turn red, you get shaky and you realize you've triggered fight or flight, but I still want you to celebrate because you saw that squeaky door triggered you, or whatever the crazy thing is that triggered you is, or the media seeing people with masks on their face triggered you. I want you to push the Ferris wheel and celebrate even if you were too late. You have this sweet 10-second window for the first moment that you feel the tension or see the thing or experience the stimuli to push the Ferris wheel. 10 seconds is a long time. 1,001, 1,002, it's plenty of time to just put your arms in the air. Why is this effective? I'm a why girl, by the way. Probably drove my teachers crazy in school because I'm always going deeper. The large motion allows your adult brain to begin to retrain habits of reaction. This is really, really important, especially if you've had trauma in your life. You need to be able to break your old patterns, to stop that old story that we talked about just a few slides back. So a large motion can help you do that. You don't go around like this all day, or maybe you do if you're a cheerleader. I was a cheerleader, so I know how to do all that. So we're just going to push, and it's a silly thing to do, so hopefully the corners of your mouth will go up in a smile. Smile is an incredible pressure-free tool because it keeps a little chemical called dopamine flowing. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter that allows your cortex and your hippocampus to function. So when we go into fight or flight, we shut off dopamine and we can't think well. We lose our willpower, which is why we reach for comfort foods and drink and self-medicate in all other kinds of ways, smoke. That is because we have no willpower now. And we can't make good decisions because this is shut down. So when you can smile just a little bit, which is hopefully what the Ferris wheel will help you do because it's a silly motion, then your brain is going to stay working for you. And you're going to be able to choose your response to this situation. Does that make sense? Are you getting this? This is like super neuroscience powerful. And then posture. So I want you to push the Ferris wheel up. Now bring your arms down, but keep your body in the same position. And you'll notice that you lifted your whole posture up. Your ribs went up away from your hips and you opened up a little bit. Now do it again, push up. And now come down with your thumbs up in the air now as they're coming down and out toward the walls instead of by your thighs. And you'll feel that you really opened up here. So posture again is a great pressure-free tool. When you're in a strong posture, your brain says, oh, I must not be afraid in this moment. I must not be anxious. Everything must be fine. So again, it's another neuroscience trick. 3 neuroscience tricks in one tool for you. You can push slowly. You can push quickly. Some people put people on the Ferris wheel, but I view this energy, this wheel spinning as the wheel of your life energy. And when you push it, you just gave yourself energy. So if you do put somebody on the Ferris wheel, know that going in and know that they're going to come around you. You're going to need to have a good response for them. So I want you to practice with this Ferris wheel every time you feel angry, anxious, annoyed, or ashamed, or of course afraid, any kind of fear. If an image starts to make you, if a newscaster's voice, if a particular piece of media starts to get you tight, push that Ferris wheel. Here's a bonus tool, flip the switch. This is more of a mind tool. And I call it flip the switch because this is the fastest way you can change that negative story you've got going on in your head. So I use a little 3-step system again. I smile, keep dopamine flowing. I look up into my head and I use this particular slogan. I say, caught you. You're catching your brain going into a negative space, which is going to affect your DNA so significantly. So you want to smile, say, caught you. And now what I want you to do is ask an empowering question that gets you towards solution. So for example, if you see a negative media image that's getting you afraid about your immune system, I want you to smile, say, caught you, and say, how can I stay healthy? How can I stay cool in this moment? How can I solve this? What can I do to help my family? An empowering question gets right to the heart of solution for you. When people start asking, when a family starts asking empowering questions, there's no more fighting. Fighting is so pointless and stupid. And if you simply hold an argument with another person, maybe you don't even talk about it, your immune systems are plummeting. So you got to get rid of all that crap. Almost said a bad word. Gotta get rid of all that crap. How can I? What can I? That's what's going to be powerful for you. So, what else can you do? You can relax your abs. Ask yourself the question though, what can I do? What can I do in that 10-second interval? You can relax your abs. That's one of the most powerful tools I work on with my clients. You can take a moment to breathe slowly. Start it in that 10-second interval and it'll work. Start it too late and you probably won't even take a deep breath. You can pet yourself. This is funny, but I learned this again from my body coach, Lee Veronica. You want to start from your shoulder and actually go down the top of your arm. Don't go up or you're going to bristle against the hairs and your nervous system's going to go, ah. You want to go down and then up underneath. So down the tops and up underneath. Here, just take your two hands and go down your thighs for a moment. Just to the knee, or you can go farther if you want. But just go down a few times. It's very soothing. When I was a little girl, when I was ill, actually not even when I was ill. In fact, the earliest memory I have of this is that my mother, I would have been about 2.5, and my mother was nursing my middle sister, and my head was on her lap, and she was stroking my hair. I had I've always had long hair, so she had never cut my hair at that point. So she's stroking my hair like this. Sometimes I do that when I need comfort. I'll just stroke my own hair. There's something very beautiful about it. So comfort yourself. Flip the switch on your negative thoughts. Turn off the news. Push your Ferris wheel. Stay pressure-free. Notice when you start getting tense. Use the 10-second solution to prevent stress hormone release. And use pressure-free tools like relaxing your abs, smiling, all those ones we just shared, to interrupt the stress response. And you will literally be stopping stress at the adrenal glands, at the source. The stress hormones will not go out. You're going to have full function of your brain, and your body is going to be able to stay healthier. Every process is going to be able to work for you. Your digestion, your reproduction, your breathing, your heart, your brain, everything is going to start to work better for you. And your immune system is not going to be compromised. That's why this is the fastest way to prevent illness. If you don't release those stress hormones, your cells can work for you, your body can work for you, your DNA can unlock for you. So again, your starter tool is the Ferris wheel. By the way, if you don't like Ferris wheels, do a 3-point shot like basketball. Just imagine the swoosh ball, you get the rotation of the ball, it just goes right in. So if you're a basketball player or like that, 3-point shot. I was a basketball player. In this training, you've learned the fastest way to stay well. You've uncovered your own stories that you need to start to change. So now we've put those more empowering stories in there. And you've learned about the pressure-free method. So now I want to give you a secret 3-step method that really can keep you healthy at all times, because I know that probably in the next weeks, months, you may start to get that little scratchy throat feeling, or someone near you might be ill, or the C word is going to be closer to you, or you're traveling. Something's going to go down where you're starting to feel a little bit of anxiety about what's going on health-wise for yourself. So I want to share this simple 3-step method. Usually I share this only when I've gone deeply in my course with my clients. But I don't know, I just feel the need to share it tonight. So here we go. First of all, before I share the 3 steps, I want you to think of yourself for a moment and how you are an atomic being. So at the atomic level, think of the tiny, tiny nucleus and the electrons spinning around. To get it to scale, I've read several books on quantum physics. To get it to scale, you need to take that nucleus, and it's like the size of a grain of sand in the middle of the basilica in Rome. And the tiny dust motes in the air are the size of the electrons. So at the atomic level, we learned this in science class way back when, you are mostly space. I am mostly space. This chair is mostly space, carbon atoms. We are mostly space. It's hard to believe because I look solid, you look solid. You know, what is this? But I really want you to close your eyes if you need to. Really think about the fact that at the atomic level, we are mostly space. If we can keep ourselves very healthy at the atomic level of us, at the atomic level, every cell is going to be healthier. Every organ is going to be healthier. Our whole entire being is going to work better. So, with that in mind, um, I want you to think of these 3 steps and the power of being able to heal yourself at any moment. So, step 1, when you start to feel any sort of illness, even stubbing your toe, any injury, illness, surgery, anything like that, to get healing working very quickly in your body, step 1 is to relax all your muscles in the particular area. So if it's your throat, I want you to relax your shoulders, your all these muscles in here in your neck, loosen your jaw. Get this all super relaxed. We have been conditioned to tighten toward pain. The first time you ever skinned your leg or knee or got hurt, someone went, "Oh, look at their face. Look at my face. Oh, oh, honey, we'll take care of that. Let's go get a Band-Aid. Let's go get the, tightness, tightness. Oh, I got to get you to the hospital, tightness." So we've been conditioned whenever we feel some sort of illness or pain or anything to tighten toward it. So when we feel the scratchy throat, we tighten, our shoulders go up and our jaw tightens. We get tight. That restricts blood flow, nerve flow, and atomic flow. So I want you to relax all of this in this area. We'll concentrate on this for tonight. Second step, the moment we feel discomfort, pain, illness coming on, we'll go very negative here. Oh no, I must have it. Oh no, I can't work tomorrow. Oh no, I'm going to get sick and spread it to everybody else. Oh no, because there's all kinds of negative stuff that goes on in here. So step 2 is to flip the switch on all of that. Immediately move toward, how can I stay healthy? I'm fine. I'm going to be fine. Affirmation and empowering question. How can I stay healthy? How can I clear? How can I be healthy here? Whatever words work for you. Questions that empower you toward health and affirmations that affirm that you're going to be fine. So that's step 2. That one's a little harder for most people. It's like, okay, I can relax here, but changing up the thoughts can take some time to learn. So I want you to practice with even the small stuff like just stubbing your toe or rolling your ankle or bumping this elbow. I've hit a million times because when I am not pressure free, I get very clumsy. So so if I bump this elbow, I have to use a lot of pressure tools, not overreact, because it's not a funny bone anymore. So any kind of thing like that, immediately relax. Think, I'm going to be fine. And then here's the third step. So you have an amazing energy system separate from your circulatory, respiratory, the meridian system that acupuncture uses. This is a fourth system. We have a lot of systems, but this system actually goes through your body. It's an atomic system that can clear through your body in over 250 places. Scientists have mapped over 250 energy portals. Hindu call them chakras, into your body. It's going through your body. That, to me, the amazing energy that created you, the amazing energy wants you to be well. It wants you to be healthy and do your work on this planet. That amazing energy can heal you in seconds when you tune into it. Most of us have it tuned out, like all the time. We're tense, we grind our teeth, we hold tension here, our abs are tight, shoulders are tight. So we have to relax all of that first and move into positive thought here. And the third step is wherever you're concerned, just imagine like petals of a flower opening up. And you can literally imagine energy just streaming all the way through your body, just streaming, 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 clearing, clearing, clearing at the atomic level. I like to think of it this way. It's like you're finally getting all your electrons spinning beautifully. What would that look like if we could see it? It's like the most perfect music. It's like the most perfect sunset. It's like all the vibrations of you are finally aligned. We need to get you in alignment physically, mentally, and then through this atomic energy, which you might think of as spiritually. So when you can do that, you can literally take any area of your body and begin to get healing going through it. I can feel it right now through the screen to you. So weird. Like I can feel it. I can feel our ability. You may be thousands of miles. Probably Deb from Australia is watching right now. How many thousands of miles away is she from us? But right now we are all connected. We are all open. We are all streaming energy that literally heals not just ourselves, but heals the collective. Every negative piece of news is destroying the collective. I tried to find it today, but I remember reading that back in 1918, the last time there was a big F word, okay, they asked the media to stop reporting, and people got healthier very quickly. So every thought we have is so important. Start serving yourself some really, really great thoughts. Start serving yourself true belief in the foundation of your creation and your health, and understand that you have far more power over it than you ever dreamed. And the whole key is not releasing those stress hormones. That is the key. So what's next for you? I hope you take what you've learned tonight and start applying it. Just right away, I've given you some great tools that you can start to use right away. And you can also take the next step. You can learn, integrate, and master this pressure-free method, and I can guide you. So this is huge announcement. This is brand new. I've never done this before. I have just packaged all of my library into something I'm calling Pressure Free You, Success with Less Stress, so that you can achieve more without the stress and burnout. So this is daily content delivered right to you for just $97 a month. It has a lot of different platforms of mine, all combined into one to make it easy for you to quickly and effectively start to learn this method, but more importantly, start to integrate it in and then become a master. So I'm delivering this to you at a very special price tonight. It's just $97 a month. $97 a month. And it's a year's worth of material. And I'm continually building, so there'll be a second year coming. And that's $400 off my usual price of $497 a month. So this is a really easy way for you to just start to learn. It will only take a few minutes every day for you to start to learn. And if you miss a day, it's okay. Each day is something new. Each day is a little snippet of something that's just going to really empower you to get you on this right path, because you so deserve it. So I want you to really think about how important this is for you. You are so worth it. Your life is so worth it. I want you to keep your momentum going, and I want you to get started today. So if you are interested in Pressure Free You, I have set up and I hope it works, you can test it for me, a very simple site. It's just pressure-freeyou.com. So pressure-freeyou.com, just the letter U, is going to send you right to a page where you can get this special price tonight of just $97. And then if you really want to go deeper, if you feel like private coaching is really important to you, all of my private clients receive, during the time that we're working together, receive Pressure Free You at the same time. I want you to go to speakwithelle.com. That is my calendar where we can have a private talk and I can learn about you. And we can see if my private coaching program is a good fit for you. Or you can learn more about Pressure Free You and see if that's the route you want to go. So that is a totally free strategy session with me at speakwithelle.com. So I'm so happy to share all this with you. You know, this is, keep this slide up here just so you can see it. I've decided, after working with hundreds of people, that the best way that I can really provide value is to do something every day for my people, do something every day for you. so that you have just this little bit of time. It's not going to take a whole lot of time, but it is going to help you stay on the pressure-free path to getting healthier and healthier, wiser and wiser, to start to really unleash your gifts. So as we move through these programs, we'll start first with Optimal Performance, which is my first course that I start all my clients out on. Then we'll move into Get Dialed In. It's really getting clear about your stories, clearing out the old, putting in the new, and really get dialing in. Pressure-free body is next. Our help. We've got to take care of this thing. And so moving into some really great tools to help you do that. Then pressure-free, where's pressure-free money? Pressure-free money should be in here too. Pressure-free business, pressure-free money, pressure-free personal, pressure-free brain. And then the final pressure-free living mastery at the end of the year or at the end of your time period. People can come into this program at any time. So this is going to be really fun. I'm really excited to do it. I'm really excited to announce it. So I hope you'll go to Pressure-Free You. Just take a look at the page. You can see what's on there and decide if you want to sign up tonight at the very low price of just $97 a month. That's less than a Starbucks coffee a day. So it's really a powerful thing to help you get started. And you can do this on your phone. You can do it on iPad, on your computer. So it's very easy access for you as well. And then, of course, if you want to call, have a call with me, just go to speakwithelle.com for my calendar. And I'm going to close out of Facebook now, stop my recording, and open up for question and answers on my thing here. So let's see. Let's stop recording.